Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Lee, or Nick. Everyone just calls me Nick. My certification is going to be a single subject music teaching credential with a master's in education. I already have a master's in music for jazz guitar performance, so I'm just looking to expand upon that and hopefully turn that into a teaching career. So what external factors impact certification, hiring, and job security? So I think the Eisner quotation from the textbook back in 2002 kind of sums it up perfectly. Teaching is an art in that teachers' activity is not dominated by prescriptions or routines, but is influenced by qualities and contingencies that are unpredicted. So what I love about this is I automatically go to COVID 2020. I taught at a tennis camp after COVID hit, and I was struck by how many students had to repeat the first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, you name it, just because a multitude of teachers and students and parents were left behind in this whole technological reliance. We couldn't go to classrooms. We had to wear masks. There were so many unprecedented factors that we had to deal with as a country and as a world. I think the global pandemic just totally took everyone by surprise, and these old routines of the in-classroom, in-person experience were essentially discarded for years. I mean, even to this day, I would say we're still dealing with the repercussions of COVID. So I think times change and we have to change with them. So I think that quotation was incredible for what we had just gone through as a world, like I said. How might your career benefit from being a member of one of the professional organizations listed in Table 2.1? So I like the CEC, what they said, and it says the CEC, this is Webb and Metha 2017, is to include their members, parents and interested citizens, as well as professional educators. So what I love about that in particular is that it kind of underscores my philosophy on teaching, and that it's a three-legged stool. So 1, you need the teacher's participation. 2, you need the student's participation. And 3, you need the parent's participation. If one of those things falls, then none of it works, especially with music, because that's so contingent on the parent's ability to bring that home and really make sure that the learning goes outside of the classroom. It just doesn't stop after school. Yeah, sure, there's breaks, but I've always loved the idea that, the parents kind of continue your job, and there's this kind of camaraderie between the three of us. So yeah, it's a three-legged stool. Also, I liked the National Association of Music Education too, what they said. This is again Webb and Metha. Adopt statements of principles or standards about teaching load, textbook selection procedures, and use of instructional materials. They said this back in 2017. But again, this is effective today because our job is to provide them the adequate material to go on to the next step. So we don't want to send anyone underprepared. So I think it's incredibly important that we're constantly touching base, making sure the intelligentsia is sound. So that way, when students may go on to pursue higher education or music or art or whatever that may be, that they're ready and we've given them the proper tools to be ready for that next step. So they're not coming back to you and saying, hey, why didn't you teach me solfege, or why didn't you teach me movable fixed do? These are all incredibly important things to discuss as a community of teachers, nationally, even internationally. A lot of students study abroad nowadays, so I think these resources are just crucial in terms of involving everyone. It takes a community to teach a student rather than one person. So, it takes a village. It comes from that saying. Lastly, how do professional standards to contribute to teacher efficacy and student outcomes? So again, I'll have to go back to what the book said, Webb and Metha said. The old view of teaching as a stepping stone to careers in administration, higher education, is being replaced by the perception of teaching as a career itself. Again, 2017. What I love so much about this is that we're weeding out the boys from the men and the girls from the women. I think, it's becoming more and more specialized, and if you don't want to be there and if you're just taking the paycheck, it does a great job of weeding out these people. We want to make sure that the students are getting the best of the best, and I think these professional standards do a great job of making sure that the students get that. So again, I think teaching is not for everyone, but it's important that we figure out who it is for the benefits of the students. And these standards will contribute to the success of students later on in their careers. It doesn't stop with your classroom. It goes beyond that. So this is my philosophy. Thanks for listening. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye.